Okay, so we are going to get started. There's still some people coming in, so I'll keep clicking admit. All right, so welcome to another session of the Relaxing Fertility Yoga. If this is your first time here, my name is Julie, and my invitation to you is the same every session, which is I just really want to invite you to practice with kindness and compassion to yourself and to your body. And on that note, something that I was discussing recently with a friend was how acceptance can play a huge role in our well-being, and in accepting that there are seasons and ebbs and flows of everything in life, and that can be with our health as well, right? So sometimes we feel better, sometimes we feel a little lower, sometimes we're sick, sometimes we're well, and the same is true of injuries, of course, and really everything. So I just want to throw that out there as well as maybe something to practice this evening, just an acceptance of what is, accepting how you're feeling mentally, physically, emotionally, and just allowing whatever is to be. So same as usual, we are just going to play a little bit. Every session is different. Some weeks we do a handful of challenging things, and some weeks we keep it really simple and easy. We avoid twists, we avoid inversions, we avoid core work and anything too strenuous. So no matter what, take it wherever you are. So even if we're doing a very simple stretch, it might feel hard, and that's okay. So you take it a little easier. If it feels really good and you want to go further, then you do that. Okay. All right. So we are going to start with a centering and breathing, and then move into our warm-ups. And then from there, we flow through those postures and we relax at the end. So to begin, I feel like it's been a while since we really started on the back. So tonight, for our physical practice, sorry, people are still coming in. For our physical practice, we are going to start on the back for those stretches, those warm-ups from the back. So if you're really happy to be on your back for a while, go ahead and lie down even now. If you think, oh, I don't want to be lying down for the centering and breathing and the warm-ups, then go ahead and sit right now. And it's not that one is right and one is wrong. It's just whatever feels good to you. Okay. So whether you are sitting or lying down, just take a few rolls of the shoulders once you get there. So you're going to inhale and roll the shoulders up, and exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax the shoulders down. Close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And once you've sighed out, Just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. And I just want you to notice your breath, but I also want to add in that for some reason it looks like some of you are getting kicked out. I'm not really sure why that is. And then you're coming back in. But if it keeps happening as we go along, we'll sort it, but after the breathing. Okay. So again, just relax your shoulders down. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. And soften through your face. Relax the brow. Relax down along the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Loosen the jaw. And then let's just check in with everything this evening. So start by checking in with your mind. Notice the quality of the mind, how open or closed it is, how busy or quiet. And as always, just avoid judging anything. There's no need to label it as good or bad. Just allow it to be whatever it is. And then from here, check in with your heart, with your emotional body, and just notice how you're feeling right now. Try to avoid resisting anything. Simply be present to what is. And then check in with your physical body and just notice anything there is to notice about your physicality right now, where you're feeling what the general feeling of the body is, if you're tired or alert or everything in between. And then just notice the interplay between your breath, your mind, your feelings, and your body, how they bounce off of each other. Often if we're stressed, we'll feel it in certain parts of the body, the shoulders being a place that often stores stress, and maybe the breath will be more shallow. Likewise, if we're feeling relaxed, the breath might be deeper, the body might be looser. Just notice whatever the interplay is for you right now. And then start to mindfully deepen your breath. So you're going to inhale through the nose and take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. Exhale out the nose and feel the belly roll back towards the spine. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. And if you can, come into your ujjayi, your ocean wave sounding breath, by constricting in the back of the throat as you breathe. So it's a bit like you're inhaling and exhaling the word home through the nose to create that audible wave sound. But if you're not familiar with this, or if it just doesn't feel right to you to try, it's okay. Just stay with that deep breathing through the nose if you're able. If you've had a cold, then just breathe as best you can. And take another 3 rounds or so of deep breath here. And start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And just in your own time and in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. Oh, just let yourself stretch, yawn, sigh. Make weird noises. Whatever feels good to you. And then if you are not currently on your back, I would like you to start to make your way down to your back. And And when you come down, you can either bend your knees with your feet on the floor, or you can extend the legs all the way out to hip distance. Just depends on what feels best to you. And I want you to, again, take a roll of the shoulders. So you're going to inhale, roll them up, and exhale them down and back. And then inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, bend your elbows. Take hold of opposite elbows and opposite hands. So we are just holding on there, okay? And we're going to inhale. And then exhale. I want you to take your right elbow down towards the right side, letting the left shoulder start to lift up. So we're stretching into that left shoulder, just starting to open things up. And then inhale, take it back through center. And exhale over to the other side. So left shoulder coming down, right shoulder lifting up, getting that stretch on. And then inhale back through center. Sorry guys, I got distracted by, there's a sparrow doing something outside and I was just making sure it wasn't hurting itself. But it's okay. I don't know what it's doing, but something around my conservatory, something on the window it's interested in, but it's not. I was worried it was the thing where they hit their reflections, but that's not it. Okay. So let's inhale. Take the hands up, interlace your fingers, point your index fingers and your thumbs, and then draw your arms down to the sides of your head so that the thumbs are coming down. And then if you can, if it feels okay to your lower back, I just want you to extend the legs out. Okay, and then take an inhale and stretch, like you're being pulled from the wrists in one direction and then the ankles in the other. Oh, and then exhale, slide and walk your shoulders a little bit towards the right. And just take this supine half moon pose, Supta Ardha Chandrasana. And then inhale, slide it back through center. Take a nice long stretch. And exhale over to the other side. So we just walk and slide over to the left. Take a breath. And then inhale, slide and walk back through center. Take a nice long stretch. And then from here, start to lift your arms back up. Let all your fingers interlace. And then just start to bend the right knee. Bring it in towards your chest. And then interlace your fingers over your right shin. Now, actually, take a moment because there's a nicer way of getting into this just as far as deepening the stretch. So actually everyone just take your left leg and bend it. If it was already there, great. But if not, just take your left leg, bend it, place the foot on the floor. But then we're going to swing it straight up into the sky. And then we exhale and we take that left leg straight down. So we're coming into that beautiful hip flexor stretch. Now, for those of you who've been doing this with me before, you know that we spend a lot of time on the hips in here for multiple reasons, both physiological and emotional, with relationship to the hips and fertility, especially. And just as I say that, I just realized that I didn't say at the beginning that, of course, this is a class for men and women. So if you're here as a guy, you're still totally welcome, even if I'm talking about female body parts. Okay. All right. And then from here, I want you to see if you can play with rolling up. So you're going to tuck the chin in towards your chest, lift the head, lift the shoulders, and you're just going to roll up so that you're coming up into a seated position. If that doesn't feel okay to you, or if you're kind of getting stuck here, just unwind and hop yourself up using your hands. Okay. And then once you get there, you're going to have that left leg extended with the right knee bent. And we're just starting here with this foot at the side, but then I just want you to straight away tip that out. So now that right leg is tipping out to the side and we're bringing that left foot into the right thigh. And I want you to flex that right foot out in front of you. Take your fingertips either side of the right leg, roll the shoulders back and open up through the chest. So we actually elongate up through the spine. So we're coming into Maha Mudra or Great Seal Pose. I have no idea why it's called that. It took me years to realize it wasn't the flippered kind of seal, but the kind on an envelope. I don't know how it would be either, to be honest. All right. Now, if this is enough, stay here. Actually, I want to warm us more before we do the next bit. So we're going to try to bring some heat into the body. And we're going to do that with movement and the breath. And so what we're going to do is we're going to inhale here, and then we're going to exhale, ha, and we just bow down, but you're not sending yourself crashing down towards your leg. It's not forceful. It's just a ha. And then you're going to inhale and you push up and you swap legs and you exhale, ha. And we inhale through the nose and we exhale down. And we just take that back and forth. If you find it in any way tricky, one thing that some people like to do is to use the hands to guide the feet in and out. Personally, I like to kind of push off the fingertips, little launching pad there. But it's really whatever feels good to you. And we just speed it up, but listen to your back. If it doesn't feel good to go fast for your back or for your legs, just keep it slow, but deep breaths. So we inhale, exhale. And take it a little slowly to start. Maybe I'm already, let's slow it down a little. And then if you feel like it, you can start to speed it up. But I want you to really keep those deep inhales going. Back and forth, a few more. I know it can feel really silly. It's good for the backs of your legs, good for your hips, good for the whole of the body because you're helping to bring more oxygen in. And if you find it really ridiculous and you're laughing about it, well, that's good too, because laughing is also very healthy. Let's go 10 more. Starting to slow it down. And we go 4, slowing it down, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you've ended on the other side from where we started, just gently swap them one last time so that we're coming back where we started with that left leg out in front. And then I just want you to square the hips, just do the best that you can there. Bring that right foot into the thigh. And we're going to play with taking that stretch a little deeper now. Just to say, if you are in any way feeling uncomfortable in this knee here, you could fold up a cushion and put that underneath the knee. If you have any yoga props like a block or a brick, it's the perfect thing to just slide under there. Okay, that's just if there's discomfort there, or if you feel like you're really up into the hip and this is super uncomfortable in the hip, again, pop something up under that knee just to give yourself a little bit of support. And I also didn't say at the beginning of the class that, yes, I do have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and they frequently make appearances and a little bit of noise. Okay, so, okay. Now we're going to do that deep stretch. And this is one of those stretches that is good for uterine blood flow. So if you are a woman, anything where we are sitting and starting to fold forward, particularly in this position where we have one leg out, this is considered beneficial for bringing blood flow into the uterus. So we're going to take the fingertips out either side of that knee, and we're going to roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, flex the foot. And then if it feels okay to you, you're going to start to walk yourself down. Now, if you have a sensitive back, keep your heart slightly lifted. Okay. And sorry, guys. This is the first time I've actually done that, where they started playing in the middle of my yoga class, which is pretty impressive for a year of teaching it online. All right, now, again, sensitive back, keep your heart slightly lifted. If it feels okay to your back, you're going to start to bow down, taking your head down towards your knee. And if you are particularly flexible, another way of approaching this is to take your chin and bring it down towards your shin. And I just want you to take a few more deep breaths there. You're probably also really feeling this in your hamstrings. And then inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, and start to bring yourself all the way back up. Sorry. And then from here, I want you to take the soles of the feet and bring them together. And then just start to ground down onto your sits bones. You might need to rock a little bit there. And then I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, take the soles of your feet and bring them together and interlace your, what did I say at the beginning about acceptance? I swear to God, every time. Actually, you know what? They were misbehaving quite a bit the other day. I had a class on insight timer on acceptance, and they weren't playing, but they were making all kinds of other noises. And right at the end, and I was like, I have to stop saying things about acceptance because I'm tempting the fate with the dogs. Okay. So we're going to interlace the fingers over the toes, and then we roll the shoulders back and open through the chest. Guys, I'm going to get my partner to get them in just a second. Roll your shoulders back, open up through the chest, take an inhale. And then exhale, start to lean forward, but just come part way down. And you're going to feel this again around the hips. And then we're going to play with taking this a little further if it feels okay to you. Again, if it feels okay to round in your back, you're going to start to round down. Okay, start to inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, roll yourself back up. For those of you that this is your first time here, unless if you're not a dog lover, super apologies. If you are, then this is probably great. All right, now I want you to extend your left leg out, and then that right leg is coming into the thigh. So exactly the same thing as what we did on the other side. This is crazy because they're 14 and 12. They kind of stopped doing this about a year and a half ago. All right. So we have that left foot again coming into the right leg. I want you to really send that leg out in front of you. Take your fingertips either side. And then roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, and really think about flexing that foot here. So again, we're feeling that in the hamstrings, and this is that stretch that again is believed to be good for uterine blood flow as we take it a little further. So we first start here in Maha Mudra in Great Seal. And then we take it a little lower and lower. And then if it feels okay to you, again, you can take your chin down towards your shin or your head down towards your knee, but just mind your back. If it doesn't feel okay to round, then stay up on your hands. Or sorry, of course you're on your hands, but stay up with your chest. I want you to take a couple more deep breaths here. And then inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, slowly start to roll up. And then you're going to pop that left leg up, interlace your fingers around it. So remember how we came up, we're gonna come down the same way, but if for any reason that doesn't feel good to you, then you just take your hands down and you gradually ease down. Otherwise, we tuck the chin in towards the chest and we just start to roll ourselves down and we flex that foot. However, I want you to, again, bend that right knee, place the right foot on the floor. Inhale, lift that right leg straight up. Inhale, flex the foot, and then we're going to exhale, take that leg down. Oh, so we feel that right hip flexor there. I want you to take a couple more breaths here. Okay, and start to unwind. Take the sole of that left foot down to the ground and just bend the right knee. And then I want you to walk your heels up towards your bottom, just as close as is comfortable, without wrenching on your knees or forcing anything. We always want to, I mean, these are gentle classes anyway, but regardless of whether you're doing a super tough class or something gentle, and this is at any point in your life, we always want to avoid the forcing of the body. We can challenge it, but again, there's that fine line. So take your hands down to the sides of your body. And I want you to imagine that you have puppet strings between your wrists and your hips. And you're going to, so sorry. You're going to push. I am so sorry, guys. You're going to push through your feet. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the pelvis, lift the arms. Take the backs of the hands all the way down to the earth behind you. And then exhale, slowly take your hands and your lower back down again. So again, it's like there's these puppet strings from your wrists, lifting your hips up, 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 up. As you come up, try to avoid letting the knees go out or in. You're keeping that squeeze and lift, and exhale down. Take 3 more. One more. Okay, and then take it down. Now from here, we're going to push through the feet, leaving the hands at the sides. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the pelvis. I think we did some bridge work last week, actually. So if you were here last week, just notice the difference. How does it feel this week compared to then? Is it easier, harder, the same? And then interlace your fingers under your back, walk your shoulder blades in so that you're hugging the shoulders around the spine. Now, again, we're not actually drawing the legs together, physically making them touch, because if that happens, we drop the hips and the bum. Likewise, we're not taking them out to the sides, but we're engaging with the glutes. Bridge is a fantastic pose for so many things, particularly when we're looking at stress hormones in the body, which of course also have a relationship to fertility. So bridge is fantastic for your adrenals, for your thyroid, really important glands as far as stress. Even though it might feel a little challenging, you might think, this is stressful. Okay, just go with it, just strengthening. If this is enough, stay here. If you feel like you want a little more of a challenge tonight, I want you to push through your left foot, lift your right leg straight up. And then exhale. Take your right foot and flex it and bring it down in front of that left knee. Unwind your fingertips and unwind the shoulders as well. Take your back down to the earth. And if you weren't doing that single leg lift, that's fine. Just pick that right leg up. And again, we cross over. Okay. But from here, we're just, again, we're flexing the foot. So we're very aware of protecting that knee. And then we're going to tuck the chin in towards the chest, walk up onto the hands. Now, listen to your right knee here, okay? So we are also going to be opening up around this back hip. And you might be feeling that around the piriformis. You're going to roll the shoulders back and you send the chest forward. If this knee is hurting you, keep it a little lower, okay? Now, sometimes also, you can let the knee tip in a little bit and that will stop it hurting as much. But for the deeper stretches, you're sort of pushing that knee away from the shoulder. But again, if it hurts at any point, you bring it back to a point where it no longer hurts. Okay, take another breath here. I'm just checking the time. I do have time. Okay. Guys, I want to challenge you just a teeny bit. We won't do too much. So I want you to spread your fingers nice and wide behind you. And then you're going to push through that left foot. Where you're afraid it's going is probably where it's going. You're going to push through that left foot and you're going to lift up. Yeah? Oh gosh. If this doesn't feel okay to you, you can take it back down. It's fine. So if you're okay here, lift. And then we just take the leg straight up. Oh no, someone is joining. I don't know if they've been kicked out. I'm going to come there just a second. They can't hear me. Okay. And then we take that leg straight out and down. And we lift the hips, lift the pelvis, come into that reverse tabletop. I'm going to let them in. Okay. And then take another breath here in that reverse tabletop. And then exhale, take your bottom down to the ground. And then you're just going to start to ease yourself back down onto your back. Oh, relax your shoulders. Sigh it out. A little bit of an extra challenge this week. Okay. And then from here, again, walk your heels up towards your bottom as close as is comfortable. And you are going to, again, push through your feet. Feel the foundation of the earth underneath you. So you're feeling the ball, the side, the heel of both feet. And then again, we inhale, we lift the hips, lift the pelvis. And then interlace the fingers under the body, walk the shoulders in. And come up into bridge, into Sattu Bandhasan. We can play a little here before we take
it to the other side. So one way of playing is that we lift up into the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. Where's your breath? Okay. And then take your heels back down. And then again, if and only if you want that extra challenge, you're going to press into your right foot, lift your left leg up. And then we take that ankle. So this is a quick move. Usually would hold it a little longer, but today we're making it quick. We're going to take that left foot, bring it down in front of the right knee, unwind. And then again, we have that foot flexed, okay? And we tuck the chin in towards the chest, lift up onto the elbows, move that right foot as you need. Always remember, this is your practice, your time in your body. You have to listen to your body, okay? And then we're leaning up into that. We're sort of pushing up into that, but just, again, listen to the knee. Okay, and then start to walk your hands back enough where you can spread your fingers wide. You're going to push through that right foot. Lift it up as best you can. I know it's tough. Squeeze under your armpits. And then we lift that left leg straight up again as best you can. And then we take it straight out. Keep lifting. Take it down and lift up into that reverse tabletop. And then exhale. Take your bottom down. Extend your legs out in front of you. Okay. And we flex the feet again. And just, okay, so there's a very silly trick here. When you're sitting like this, a couple things that you can do. One, the silly trick, is you take the beautiful abundance of your bottom, you just gently take it out to the side so you can rock down onto the sits bone. And then you do the same to the other side and you'll feel your bone touch the floor a bit more there. If when you're here, you feel like you're being highly, highly drawn back, right? You're kind of, I don't know, if it feels like you can't quite sit up and there's a lot of work going into your hip flexors and maybe it's hurting your lower back, then what you can do is you can sit up onto a folded blanket. That's one of the easiest solutions, a folded blanket or a folded towel. Okay. Now, from here, I want you to flex the feet out in front of you. Take a nice big inhale, lift through the arms, and then exhale, bow down towards your lovely legs and feet. And then roll your hands in towards your heart. Inhale, lift. And again, exhale, bow. All right. When you come up, I want you now to lift up and then I want you to sink your shoulders. So if you lift up really high, you're again, like this is the kind of like the roller coaster ride. I want you to roll the shoulders down and back so that they're a little wider and you're going to feel that in here around your lats. Okay. And again, we keep the feet flexed. And then I want you to hinge forward from your hips and then reach out like you're giving a big hug, but your legs are getting in the way. Then we're going to do something for the shoulders. I think we've done this one a few times, so some of you might be familiar with it. But we're going to lean slightly back, and then we push ourselves forward and slightly up, and then we really pull down through the shoulders. So let's just go into that once or twice more, just so you can get used to the feeling, and then we're going to hold it. So again, we're here. We kind of lean back a little, and then we send it forward, up, and down. Ooh, sink the shoulders, sink the shoulders, sink the shoulders. You should feel that around your shoulders. Okay, one more. Take it back, and then we take it forward, up, and squeeze down.
Okay, exhale. Take your fingertips down either side of your knees. And again, flex your feet, roll your shoulders back, open through your chest. If this is enough, stay. If you want to take it to Paschimottanasana, to a seated forward fold, you can do that, but it's the same as those folds that we were doing earlier, where we had one knee bent out to the side. You can either take it down with the heart slightly lifted, which is going to be safer if you have back sensitivities, or you can take it down, 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 and start to round, taking your head down towards your knee. Now, if you take your head to your knee, and you hold onto your feet, that's totally fine. But I want you to use your feet only as anchors, not as tools for torturing your body into a pose, because that is how we get injured. So we are going to just listen and go where the body is ready to go. Oh, okay, lift the head, lift the heart, start to roll it all the way up. We're going to completely change directions. So what I would like you to do is take your hands out to one side and just swing your legs back behind you, and then walk yourself so that you can come down all the way down onto your belly. Okay, so you're just going to walk, 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 and come all the way down onto your belly. And we're going to spend, so today my plan really was to just do a lot of stretching, as well as some things for the hips and the shoulders and the upper back, things that would help to relieve stress. Apparently it is Stress Awareness Month. I teach a corporate class and this is what they told me. So I'm going with that theme of stress awareness, okay? So what I would like you to do is bring your elbows so that they're coming under your shoulders, and take your legs out behind you at hip distance with the tops of your feet flat on the earth. And we're going to take a little sphinx here. So we roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. Just breathe. And then start to walk yourself down. We're going to do something a little bit different, and this is for the shoulders. So I want you to take your arms a bit wider than your mat. Likewise, you're going to take your legs a little bit wider. So instead of hip distance, they are going wider than hip distance. So creating a bit of an X on the floor here. Okay. And then from here, we are going to turn towards the right. And I want you to push down through the tops of your feet, push down through your pelvis. And then I just want you to inhale, lift that right arm up and lift your head with it. We're not going too deep, but you should feel that in the shoulder. And then we're going to take it down. Turn towards the left. And we do the same. We lift it up. Feel it in the shoulder. And down. And again, remember, tops of the feet are down. Let's do that once more to each side, and then we're going to take a variation. So then we're going to, again, turn to the right and we lift it up. Maybe yours doesn't come that high. I find one side goes higher than the other personally. You just go to the point, again, that your body's happy to go. Take it down. And then the other way. Inhale it up. Exhale. All right, now take your chin or your forehead to the floor in front of you, whichever feels more comfortable. And then I want you to bend that right arm so that your hand is coming near your shoulder blade. Again, feet are flat, or tops of the feet are flat on the earth.
And then I just want you to start to inhale, lift up that right elbow and turn the head a little bit to the right, but this is not nearly as deep. Take it down. And do that again. Inhale, lift, same side. And exhale down. And one more. Exhale down. Take that arm back out to a T and we swap. Left hand coming towards the shoulder. We're going to do 3 of these. So we inhale, lift. Exhale down. And again. And one more. All right. And then from here, I want you to take your hands, bring them towards the sides of your chest, walk your feet into a hip distance stance now. And then you're just going to gently press up and roll back, taking your bottom back towards your heels, finding Garbhasana or a child's pose. Take your forehead down and belly comes either between or over the thighs, whatever feels better to you. And then lift your head and take your arms wider than your mat again. And if you're not using a mat, don't worry. Obviously, I'm barely using mine. I'm more using my rug. So just whatever is right for you. You're taking them wider than shoulder distance. And then you're going to take your left hand, bring it over your right like a cat stretching out its foreleg. Rest your head between your upper arms and then shift your weight a little bit towards your left hip so that you really feel that beautiful side stretch there. And take your left hand, cross it back wide, and then take right over left. And take your face between your upper arms. Shift your weight a little bit towards that right hip. Take that right hand back and then very, very slowly just start to roll yourself up so that you are coming up towards a seated position on your shins. Now, once you are there, you have a couple options. We're going to do a few last things all seated. Now, for some people, sitting on the shins like this is really uncomfortable, if even impossible. So please don't make yourself uncomfortable. You can sit with your legs crossed. You can also sit up onto a bolster or a cushion. Just find what's right. Okay. We're just going to do some love on that neck now. So I'd like you to just relax your left hand down and then take your right arm up into the sky and then take your right hand towards that left ear and sit up tall. So you're really lifting up through the spine first. Try to avoid any kind of rounding or, I don't know, kind of just rounding. Okay, so we sit up tall and then start to very gently, nothing again masochistic. We take that right ear down towards the shoulder. Maybe feel that stretch in the neck. I feel that. Okay, and then take a very, very subtle turn of the head to look down, but again, subtle. And gently start to lift the head. And we're just going to swap it over. So first take the head or hand onto the opposite side of the head, but again, find the nice tall position first. Inhale. And then exhale, start to drop the ear down towards that left shoulder and just get that stretch on. And then very, very gently, you can look down a little bit. Okay, start to slowly lift back up through center. Oh, and then release that hand down. Now from here, we're going to close actually at seated. So do feel free, if you took a jumper or anything off, do feel free to just put that back on. And if you're still sitting on your shins and it doesn't feel comfortable for you to stay here, move at any point. Okay. So just sitting up tall, I'd like you to take just a few rolls of the shoulders. So you're just going to inhale, roll them up. Exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. Sorry. And just relax the shoulders down. Relax your hands. Close your eyes. Sigh out a few last times. And then, without attaching any judgment, I'd like you to notice how you have been approaching your days recently and the things that you do within those days. So is everything a task on a to-do list to check off? Do you show up here because you feel like it's something that you have to do or you should do? And just notice what the inner monologue is. And again, there's no need to judge it. Just become aware of it. If you have dogs, do you walk the dogs because you should or because you have to? And then I'd like you to notice what happens if you change the inner monologue to, I get to do this. I get to do yoga. I get to walk the dogs. I'm able to do these things. For me personally, things on my to-do list include practicing the violin, practicing Italian. And some days they just feel like things I have to check off versus, wow, I get to learn this. I get to practice this. And so if it resonates for you, maybe just set the intention through the coming week to notice the approach that you take to the things that you do in your life. Whether you do things because you feel you have to, or you should,
or whether you can change that inner monologue to being joyful and grateful. I get to do this. I'm able to do this. And then just take your hands to prayer in front of your heart. And really honor the fact that you showed up here tonight. You took the time to stretch and witness some canine craziness. And you just show up for your body and for yourself. And then gently bow, honoring all that is just as it is, your body, your light, your practice, and this earth. And thank you all so much as ever for coming. I hope you enjoyed that slightly stretchier session tonight. And for anyone, thank you all so much. For anyone